Under the night sky, Smith, a weathered wanderer known for his affinity for carrots, sat brooding over his desolate existence. Haunted by the tragic loss of his wife and children, he found solace in solitude. However, fate had other plans for him that night. A heavily pregnant woman rushed past, her urgency palpable. Within moments, a speeding car careened dangerously close to a nearby building. It became apparent that the woman was being pursued by a man in the car. As the man brandished a firearm, Smith made a swift decision to intervene. Inside the building, the woman attempted to defend herself but found her gun empty. Just as the man prepared to strike her down, Smith leaped into action, dispatching him with a carrot. However, their respite was short-lived as a group of armed men descended upon them. Smith grabbed a weapon, knowing that a confrontation was inevitable. After vanquishing their assailants, Smith found himself unexpectedly aiding the woman in delivering her child. Yet, amidst the labor pains, their refuge was breached once again by a fresh wave of attackers. With the newborn in his care, Smith had no choice but to face them head-on, balancing the duties of protector and midwife. Fortunately, the delivery proceeded without complications. In a bid to shield the mother and child, Smith urged them to seek cover while he confronted their relentless nemesis, Hertz. Triumphantly, Smith managed to apprehend Hertz, only to discover that the weapon was bound by its owner's fingerprints. Cornered, Smith made a daring escape with the mother and baby, dodging bullets as they fled. Heartbreakingly, upon reaching the stairs, Smith realized that the woman had succumbed to her gunshot wound. Determined to preserve the life he had saved, Smith fled once more with the infant. However, the relentless pursuers continued their relentless pursuit. Finding himself on the rooftop, Smith engaged in a fierce battle, overpowering a criminal and seizing his weapon and ammunition. After a grueling struggle, Smith emerged victorious by leaping onto an adjacent building. Hertz, left with the fallen bodies of his men, including the woman who had recently given birth, fumed at the disruption caused by Smith's unexpected heroism. The following day, as Smith strolled with the baby, he noticed a well-dressed man observing them. Alert to potential danger, Smith swiftly sought refuge in a restroom. Soon enough, the man in the suit reached the restroom door and demanded the baby. Smith adamantly refused, leading to a fierce brawl. Shots rang out in the intense struggle. Eventually, Smith emerged victorious, sparing the man's life and hastily making his escape with the baby. Meanwhile, Hertz received word about Smith's whereabouts and the baby. Without delay, he changed course, determined to track them down. Simultaneously, Smith found himself in a park, contemplating leaving the baby there, hoping someone kind-hearted would adopt and care for it. However, as a woman approached, she was abruptly shot from a distance. It became clear that Hertz intended to kill the baby. Reacting swiftly, Smith fired shots to disrupt Hertz's aim, providing an opportunity to save the baby and make a hasty getaway. Smith sought refuge in a brothel, intending to entrust the baby to a nurturing woman named Donna, who worked there. He offered her a substantial sum of $5,000. However, Donna refused the offer, suspecting Smith of kidnapping the child. In a different location, Hertz brooded over the mother's lifeless body, realizing that Smith would need milk for the baby. He commanded his men to scour the town, searching for any nursing prostitutes. Using the gathered information, Hertz eventually located Donna. He demanded that she reveal Smith's whereabouts. Donna truthfully explained how Smith had arrived with the baby, but she had no knowledge of his current location. Doubting Donna's words, Hertz resorted to torturing her, taking his actions to an extreme. Just as Hertz's actions reached a breaking point, Smith suddenly appeared. Despite facing each other at gunpoint, Smith knew Hertz's gun was empty, swiftly disarming him. It became evident that Smith had single-handedly eliminated all of Hertz's men. Hertz, now aware that Smith was using the fingerprint-locked guns from his fallen comrades, realized his vulnerability. However, Smith unveiled a severed arm from one of Hertz's henchmen, utilizing the fingerprints to open fire. Hertz fell to the ground, defeated. Smith invited Donna to escape with him, commandeering a resident's car. Unbeknownst to them, Hertz had survived due to his bulletproof vest. As they journeyed, Smith shared the story of how he came to possess the baby, refusing to hand it over to the authorities. Their conversation was abruptly interrupted by a reckless driver. Fueled by anger at the potential harm the driver posed to others, Smith swiftly dealt with the situation, removing the reckless individual from the road. Smith made a stop at a gun store to purchase ammunition but realized he only had $50, which had been concealed beneath newspaper clippings. It dawned on him that he had misled Donna about his financial resources. Consequently, Donna made the decision to depart. When Smith turned around, Donna had vanished. Spotting Donna serving a man in an alley, Smith confronted the man, driving him away in frustration. Utilizing the money Donna had earned, they acquired a bulletproof vest and ammunition for the baby. Smith then led them to his residence, situated on the top floor of an abandoned building. Simultaneously, Hertz noticed a car with shattered glass parked in front of a gun shop, convinced that it was used by Smith. He managed to trace an abandoned building not far from the gun shop, narrowing down their location. Upstairs in the building, Smith ingeniously crafts diapers out of newspapers for the baby, whom he has named Oliver. Downstairs, a horde of Hertz's men begins to infiltrate the building. Back upstairs, Smith, seeking news about Oliver and his mother's case on the TV, notices that Oliver stops crying whenever he hears heavy metal music. This revelation leads Smith to believe that Oliver's mother lived in close proximity to a nearby music club. Suddenly, Hertz's men storm the area, prompting Smith to instruct Donna to descend using the food elevator. Simultaneously, while carrying Oliver, Smith engages in a fierce battle against the bandits. After an arduous fight, Smith and Oliver manage to descend safely, utilizing a rope taken from one of the defeated bandits. They swiftly flee alongside Donna, who awaits them below. Witnessing their escape, Hertz commands his remaining men to pursue them. In an alley, Smith notices that Hertz has brought a sniffer dog. Opting to spare innocent animals, Smith devises a clever ruse, using the baby's diapers as bait. The dog falls for the trick, diverting the pursuers. Smith then decides to bring Oliver to the nearest heavy metal music club. Outside the club, they stumble upon stacks of boxes containing baby supplies, further solidifying their belief that Oliver's mother had a connection to the venue. Inside, they coerce the landlord into revealing a rented room on the upper floor, claimed by someone else. Upon entering the room, they discover lifeless bodies strewn about. Driven by curiosity, they explore the room and chance upon a man in a suit engaged in a phone conversation, boasting about his involvement in the demise of pregnant women and the babies they were delivering. Smith's realization struck when he recognized the man from the earlier restroom incident, who had attempted to snatch Oliver. Once the man departed, Smith and Donna ventured into a laboratory, where they discovered a refrigerator filled with sperm donor samples from a single individual. This revelation led Smith to suspect that the women were impregnated with the donor's sperm to give birth to babies with matching bone marrow. However, there were others who also sought to prevent the man from obtaining the baby's bone marrow. This was why Hertz's group was determined to eliminate Oliver. Exiting the room, Smith urged Donna and Oliver to seek refuge for the night in a hotel. There, Smith informed Donna that he had contacted news channels and the FBI, hoping that their survival would be ensured once the news spread. Unfortunately, instead of being rescued, they were attacked by a group of masked assailants. Fortunately, Smith managed to overcome these attackers. Among the attackers, Smith discovered a weapon branded with the name Hammerson, which shouldn't have been on the market for another 6 months. This led Smith to suspect that the owner of the Hammerson company was somehow connected to the syndicate involved in the extraction of baby bone marrow. Determined to protect Donna and Oliver, Smith guided them to a war museum and instructed them to hide within the protective confines of an M24 tank, which could shield them from bullets and explosions in times of chaos. Alone, Smith proceeded to the Hammerson Arms factory. Inside, he witnessed Hertz conversing with the factory owner, Hammerson, who owned a dog. Hertz explained that their mission to eliminate Oliver had been disrupted by Smith's unexpected intervention. According to Hertz, Smith was rumored to be a former military weapons expert. Upon hearing this, Hammerson instructed Hertz to swiftly locate Smith and the baby before the upcoming presidential election, as the presidential candidate intended to revoke citizens' gun ownership rights and shut down their weapons companies. Meanwhile, Smith strategically prepared a cache of weapons in various locations, readying himself for the impending challenges ahead. However, unbeknownst to Smith, Hertz was keenly aware of his presence. Showering them with bullets, Hertz revealed that he knew Smith's true identity and the tragic incident that took the lives of his wife and child during a restaurant shootout. Overwhelmed by a flood of emotions, Smith launched a fierce counterattack, wielding the prepared weapon. In the ensuing chaos, Smith managed to eliminate Hammerson's men, but not without sustaining further losses. Defeated once again, Hertz seethed with anger, vowing to exact revenge. Smith regrouped and returned to Donna, explaining that it was Hammerson who sought Oliver's demise. However, the motive behind Oliver's bone marrow remained unclear. While Donna attended to Oliver's diaper change, Smith stumbled upon a newspaper clipping revealing Senator Rutledge, a presidential candidate, with an agenda to dismantle citizens' gun rights and shut down Hammerson's company. It dawned on Smith that Rutledge was the one in need of Oliver's bone marrow, while Hammerson wanted Oliver dead to prevent Rutledge from obtaining it. Determined to uncover the truth, Smith devised a plan to confront Rutledge. Donna took Oliver out of town on a tour bus while Smith set off on his mission. However, en route, a group of Hertz's men appeared, resulting in Donna being separated from Smith, who escaped with Oliver in a stolen car. The relentless pursuit forced them into a harrowing shootout. Tragically, another vehicle crashed into Smith's car, causing Oliver to be jolted out onto the road. In a desperate move, Smith swiftly turned back towards the crashed car, but he failed to reach it, finding himself besieged by a horde of attacking bandits. Fending off the assailants, Smith emerged victorious. However, Hertz arrived, only to discover that Oliver was not in the car, merely a dummy and a voice recorder. The real Oliver was being safely transported in the tank, under Donna's care. Determined to expose the truth, Smith contacted Senator Rutledge's office, pretending to be the man with the baby, and requested to be connected to someone who could deliver Oliver to the senator. Unbeknownst to Smith, the person who agreed to meet him was the very man who had attempted to seize Oliver in the restroom. They arranged to meet at the airport, where Smith was invited to board a plane to rendezvous with the senator. During their conversation on the plane, Senator Rutledge disclosed that he was battling cancer, finally shedding light on his need for Oliver's bone marrow. However, in the midst of their discussion, Smith noticed that the senator's pants were covered in the same dog hair as Hammerson's canine companion. This revelation led Smith to realize that Senator Rutledge and Hammerson had struck a deal. Reacting swiftly, Smith took Senator Rutledge hostage. Soon enough, Hertz and Hammerson appeared, confirming Hertz's complicity in the scheme. Hertz informed them that Senator Rutledge had promised them a deal if they captured Oliver, then once elected president, gun ownership rights would remain intact and Hammerson's company would be spared from closure. Seizing control of the situation, Smith ordered everyone to stand down and led Senator Rutledge to the cargo hold. In a tense standoff, Smith explained that if Senator Rutledge were to die, the public would sympathize, leading Congress to pass anti-gun legislation, a legacy that would endure. With those words, Smith brought an end to Senator Rutledge's life. Having made his decision, Smith parachuted from the plane, but a group of attackers followed suit, initiating an aerial battle. Despite the prolonged struggle, Smith emerged triumphant, vanquishing all of the assailants, including the senator's aide. Weary and injured, Smith entered a building, but the toll of his injuries caused him to faint. When he regained consciousness, he found himself face to face with Hertz, who aimed a gun at him. Smith was then taken to the basement of Hammerson's house, where Hertz demanded information about Donna and Oliver's whereabouts. Despite the pain, Smith remained silent, prompting Hertz to resort to breaking Smith's finger. Hertz revealed that Senator Rutledge's plane had crashed, and they had orchestrated fake news to cover their tracks. Aware that Smith and Donna possessed dangerous knowledge, Hertz saw no other choice but to eliminate them. Meanwhile, Donna had boarded a tour bus, intending to leave town. As Hertz prepared to stab Smith in the eye, Smith unexpectedly fought back. In a fierce battle, Smith killed Hammerson and his men, determined to end Hertz's life as well. However, the pain from his broken finger caused Smith's shot to miss its mark. Quickly thinking on his feet, Smith rushed upstairs and took refuge by the fireplace. Seeing Smith in what seemed like a vulnerable position, Hertz grew overconfident. Unbeknownst to Hertz, Smith had hidden a bullet between his fingers, and the heat from the fire caused the bullet to slide into Hertz's body. Both men, wounded yet standing, pointed their guns at each other. However, with great difficulty, Smith pulled the trigger first, ending Hertz's life. After some time had passed, Smith and Hammerson's dog embarked on a tour bus, searching for Donna and Oliver. Their journey led them to an ice cream shop, where Donna worked as a waitress, keeping a watchful eye on Oliver. Suddenly, 3 armed robbers stormed into the shop. Feeling a surge of irritation, Smith stepped forward, seizing the gun from one of the robbers. With a carrot as his weapon, Smith taught the 3 robbers a lesson they would not soon forget. The moral of the story is never underestimate the power of carrots, for they can save lives and defeat villains, even in the most absurd and action-packed situations.